the largest hospital in the capital of Canada. And my mum walked in the background with my dirty washing. So I moved to Spain and left. So now I've got an office.
Wait, you straight up moved to Spain?
Well, that's not why I moved to Spain, but I already planned it. But I have moved to Spain. This is my office with a door. Which is good.
Yeah, but it's a great story. Like my mom walked in on a business call and was like, "I'm gone." All right.
Like, yeah.
All right. So I feel like this is like the hallmark of your journey, right? Because you joined the IC and you remember watching these like star student interviews, right?
Yeah, I first was aware of the IC when John Williams did an interview and like a many chat group I was part of.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing more about it, like on your Facebook page and the interviews, and then I joined and started watching them, and never really thought that I would like reach 10K, but now I'm at it. It doesn't seem massive enough. I feel like I'm doing more.
Can you repeat that? Because like your internet's being funky. Repeat it. Repeat it. Your internet's being funky.
Sorry, what?
Repeat it. Your internet is being funky. What did you say?
I said, like, when I started out, I saw James was doing okay, and I thought that blew in, like, it seemed possible.
Adam, your internet's giving me a fucking heart attack. Fix your internet. Oh my God. Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, how about now?
We're going to find out. Okay, so let's go. Is that what you do to see if like the internet's working? Just, like, yeah. All right. So like, let's flash back. So like when you first joined, because you weren't in Spain, you weren't in England, you were in Mexico, right? Like this was like pre-corona, way back in the day, and you're just traveling because you graduated or you didn't. You're like, I don't know what I want to do, but I'm gonna be dancing salsa with some pretty hot chicks and see what happens, right? So bring us back to back then, like pre-IC. Where were you? What were you talking about? All that stuff.
Okay, so I was this in January 2019. Didn't make any money for 4 months. Weirdly enough, my first client was a Chinese education technology company.
Okay.
So that it always was weird clients, and I got them because I was a teacher with another company, and I basically discovered Facebook ads and messenger chatbots and said, hey, I think this would work for you. They said, let's try it. And for about 8 months, they were like my only consistent retainer client. They paid me $1,000 a month, which was supplemented by like another $1,000 for freelancing. So I was just like living my life in Mexico, like earning nothing and kind of like stressing out about it too much, I think, looking back. Like I was working like 8 hours a day, and I think I worked like 2 hours a day and took that retainer and did nothing. But I was always like looking for a way to actually make money pre-IC. And I was going to give up. I applied for a job in January. They wanted me 70 hours a week for $3,000 a month. So then I saw I had that in my background, and I like the IC.
Adam, your internet's giving me a fucking heart attack. God damn it.
Sorry about this. Can I do this like on my phone maybe?
That's fine by me, yeah.
All right. Is it the same link, yeah?
Yeah, if you click that from your phone, it should work.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Fucking Spanish office.
Fucking Spanish.
Just downloading the app.
Oh, you have to download BeLive. Gotcha. Yeah, dude, not to worry. We have like a whole hour or so. We're good.
Yeah. Is this live at the moment?
Yeah, everybody's seeing you go, this fucking Spanish office.
This is a compelling thing. Yeah.
God damn it, mother. Like, yeah.
Okay. This is how I feel like on a sales call if something's not working and you have to fix it while you're on the call.
Yeah.
And there's like radio silence.
And you're just like staring at each other like, what do we do now? And then
yeah.
All right, let me hide you there. Let's do this.
Okay. Is this better now?
I think it is actually. Did that work? It's not better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Try from your desktop one more time. If not, I'm just going to fly over to Spain and wring your neck. All right. Let's try this again. Let's see if he rejoins. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right. Now your audio has to work. We have to fix your audio. Yo, guys, we do this for a living. Shut up. No, I can't do it. Oh, wait, hold on. It's because that button that I clicked. Wait, no. No. There should be, in the gear icon, you can change your audio settings. No. Yeah, you got it. Look, for everybody watching, if we can figure it out. Okay, wait. I think we're good now.
Yeah, is that good? Is that
yeah,
good?
we're good. We're good now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Right.
Let's start all over again.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So you're in Mexico. You're working for this like Chinese company that manages to pay you $1,000 a month. You're making $2,000 in total. You're like, this is bullshit. I'm gonna get a full-time gig and see what happens. So start us from there. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I was so sad. Like, just dragging myself out of bed every day, like not having any demos or any real work to do, and I just felt like I was wasting my life in terms of like spending half of my waking hours on this business, which wasn't a business. It just was like a time suction thing.
Yeah.
So I would always like waste time like making Trello boards or trying to make like cool producty things. A local college gave me a guy to teach me about APIs, and I wasted like 20 hours with him because I thought like if I can learn how to do a new skill, then I will make more money.
Yeah.
And it turns out I was learning like the wrong skill for a Facebook agency. So that took me to the point in January I was just a bit fed up, and I reached out to you on I commented on one of your posts.
Yeah.
And then you said to message you, and you give me some masterclasses.
Yeah, I was like, dude, just take it. Because like I've been exactly where you are. Like I get it. And like your brain is like yelling at you to move and you don't know where to move and how to move. And you end up doing this like you end up spending like 16 hours on a bot. Like somehow having like a great bot is gonna like change your life forever. It's not gonna do shit. Like it's just gonna give you something else to freak out about. Like you have to go back to prospecting. And I think I gave you like the cold emailing masterclass and 2 or 3 others, right? Something like that, right?
Yeah, you give me cold emailing, and I got on D7, got up Woodpecker, and then I just started getting people like asking me to phone them.
You're like, oh my god.
Well, that's what it was like because nobody had ever told me how to do it.
Yeah.
And
wait. Was this the post where I was like, hey guys, like transformation sucks, everything hurts? This was like in January, right? And then you're like, man, I feel this, like I'm stuck at 1,000. I was like, man, I got you. And I just sent you the stuff, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay. All right. So you got the stuff, you're doing cold emailing, keep going.
So I was doing cold emailing, and I was getting like calls qualification calls, and then I turned a couple into demos.
Yep.
So we got that prospect and stuff done, and then it came to the sales part.
Yeah.
So I actually remember I like recorded my first sales call and I shared it with you, and that was like the next hurdle. It was like, how do we do the sales part correctly? And then it was just like going back to school, and like you sent me a video on that, and then going through the IC and looking at other people's like sales calls.
Yep.
I did better at the next sales call, because I actually worked hard to make it function, and I made my first sale. I think it was like $1,300 while I was in Colombia.
How long between when you started cold emailing and got your first sale?
It's probably 5 weeks.
Beautiful. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And that person came from cold emailing.
So that person came from LinkedIn, because I was doing LinkedIn and cold email.
Perfect. Okay, cool. But it was the same type of arena. You weren't like doing like LinkedIn for 6 months. You do it like LinkedIn and cold emailing day one, and then 5 weeks later you got your sale.
No, yeah, I was just manually adding people on LinkedIn. I got banned for doing it. But I got his email before he got banned.
Beautiful. And what was that sales conversation like? Because this was like your first like sales call. It wasn't like a referral or super warm. It was like, hey, this is what we do in exchange for money. Right? So like, what was that first sales call like?
It actually went extremely well, and I think I just had the confidence for it, and they were open to learning about it. So I used your Google Slides pitch deck with like the wee stick man on it.
Yep.
And it was good. I would start with like discovery, and then I showed them the program. What was really weird about it was I said the price, and then they were like, we want to spend 4 times that and do it over 4 months, because it's easier for our VP of finance to approve.
Yeah.
And then they went to the VP of finance, and he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're not spending 4 months. So they tried to get it for half price, and we kind of just met in the middle. And they ended up paying like a week later.
Very cool.
So it was pretty painless. That like the first properly for, and how you can do the process.
Beautiful. Let me ask you this though. Like, did you ever have this like, what am I supposed to do type offer type conversation with yourself? Like when you're sending like prospecting, cold emailing, LinkedIn, Facebook ads, all that stuff, like you have to say, here's what I do in exchange for money, like your offer, right? So did you have to go through this like whole thing of like your niche, your offer, your selection, all that, or like you knew right out of the gate?
Well, whenever I started it, I knew that it would work better if I had an offer. So I just, I had like a connection who had been chatting with, and he just gave me like a tip off saying this was in demand. So this was for CNAs, so like healthcare workers. And he just said, there's a shortage. This would be a good proposal. And then I would just go out with like the Joel Kaplan email. I'm getting a lot of CNA applications, but I don't have a client in your area.
Yep.
Would you be able to take on 5 or 10 more, say a month? And that was the offer which I led with in the early days.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And that was like the first moment where like, holy shit, this could work. Broke my brain. Oh my God. Like that's fucking cool. And and you were going after hospitals that wanted more healthcare workers, right?
So I was going after staffing agencies who used healthcare workers.
So that the hospital would call a staffing agency, you would help the staffing agency get more resumes, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. That's a weird niche. I'll tell you that. Like nobody's going after that. You got a gold mine. That's so fucking cool.
Well, it stopped working because it stopped working, and then I realized, like, why not just go to the source who has the money that's given to them? Like, why do I need the person in the middle if I can take over that person in the middle?
So instead of feeding staffing agencies, you're now feeding hospitals directly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Is that how you got your $22K deal?
Yeah. So that was from a referral. I went on a podcast in November, like in the recruitment space. And I met a guy on that podcast who was a CEO of a company. Like somebody tagged him in the comments of the podcast post and said, like, you should acquire this company. And I was like, lol, I have one client.
But sure, I'll take a buyout. Yeah.
Yeah. So he asked me to work for him. And then I said no. And then he ended up like saying he wanted to refer people to me. So he referred me that hospital.
That's so cool. So, all right. So I think you are like the second or third person to realize that podcasting is like it's not a power partner thing, but like building awareness, right? So instead of going straight Facebook ads, you get 1 or 2 clients who start doing podcasts or something like that, like a Lunch and Learn. I think you're seeing Yoni Alpert do that, right?
Yeah, it is a prospecting channel for me.
Yeah.
Because like your audience is going to be fairly small unless you go on one of the larger podcasts. I've only been on like 2 large podcasts. But the good thing is you can prospect your guests, so people you invite on. You're putting them on a pedestal, you're showing them respect, and then you can have a conversation afterward about what you do.
Yep.
And also, I got like an 8.5K deal recently from a podcast partner. So I've invented this term, podcast partner.
Yeah.
Is somebody else who's been on the podcast who you can reach out to and say, I saw you're on the podcast. I enjoyed listening to this. This is my episode. I hope you enjoy it. And in doing that, you're like raising yourself from like lowly entry-level Facebook ad agency owner to being on the same level as the other guest on the podcast, because you've had the same platform. And that's a really good way to like build a partnership with them.
Wait, so I think I heard this incorrectly. You tell me if I'm wrong here. So you are networking with people that have been on that podcast, but on different episodes. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So if Jeff Bezos is on like a podcast and I get on that podcast, I'm gonna reach out to Jeff Bezos and say like, hey, I was on the same podcast. Here's my episode. Is that what you're doing?
Pretty much. If it was a podcast we are kind of like debating, or it might be a bit of a tricky one to do, you would ask the previous guest for advice beforehand. And because people enjoy giving advice, that's probably the best way to get them talking to you. But afterwards, I've done it as well.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you got your first client, right? Which was healthcare placement. How long between your first client and when you realized, how long between your first client and then your first podcast?
Well, the first podcast was before the first client.
Oh, the first podcast was in November, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I did about 3 in the dark days when I wasn't prospecting, because I thought, if I do a podcast, everyone's going to listen and everyone's going to want to buy to me.
Right.
So that was like me saying, like telling myself I'm doing something. So I did some before. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you did the podcast, got your first client. How did you end up reaching back out, or how long, or how did you end up getting paid from that first batch of podcast interviews? Like what was that turnaround time? What was that conversation like? Like, did you reach out to those guests and be like, hey, we do this now? Or what did that look like?
Yeah, I think it's best for like a partnership play. The 2 that I got from that, the 2 partners were quite long. So one was the one who referred me the 22K client. And that was like 6 months after the podcast. This is so weird. I was given tickets to the Mexico City PGA. So I ended up like donating them to his team. So that reawakened him. And he was like chatting to me on and off since then. And then the second one, I just did like a bit of consulting with him and kind of just kept in touch, because people often won't have an opportunity now. But if you just keep in touch with other technology people in the industry, like something will eventually come to mind. Finally, my first like hospital client was from that podcast as well.
So cool. So do you think that like podcasting should be part of like your normal way of working? Like every 2 weeks you do a podcast, talk shop, and just build that awareness. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Just I'm doing lunch and learns with people who are in like hospitals.
I was about to say, and then you can leverage that into lunch and learns. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I can leverage that into what I call the RN Recruiter University. But basically, you can add your niche university, and whenever you're pitching, you say like, we care about educating your team, so we have a training portal like the one Jeff Lopez has, and include all your master classes within that,
which is just your podcasts or your lunch and learns, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
So yeah, I'm trying to make like the SOP where I have a VA like sources the guests, and then a VA chops them up to market and put them on the training portal and all that stuff.
That's so cool. Okay. All right. So let's go back a bit. So you're at the bottom. You're in Mexico. You're working a shitty job. Yeah. Everything sucks, right? I make that post and you're like, yeah, man, I was like, I got you. And you start doing that. And you start doing the cold emailing and all that stuff. And when did you end up joining the IC? Like January? That's when everything went to hell, right? When did you join the IC?
So it was after getting a little bit of traction with cold email. It was like 20-something of January.
Gotcha. Okay. Join the IC.
Yeah.
How long from when you joined the IC to when you're like, oh my God, this could work? You know, like that moment where you're like, I got the first sale, it's repeatable, like that big breaking moment. You know what I mean? Like, when do you think you had that? How long into the IC?
Probably 3 weeks.
What was it? Was it the slide deck? Was it somebody paid you? Like, what was that? Oh my God.
Yeah, it was the yes from the demo where they say we want to pay you more money than you pitch for. So it was just like, someone saying yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so fucking awesome. So somebody said yes to the demo. They paid you. And all you're doing is running Facebook ads effectively. And I'm not going to I don't want to look at your ad, right? Like, I'm just making this up right now. But it's like, hey, healthcare worker, would you like a job? Click here. Is that it?
We kind of style them off the other, just any like ad for any niche.
Mm-hmm.
Like you call them out, and then you'd have like a problem, pain point, and then the benefits, and then the call to action. To be honest, nobody else who's like doing these types of ads does that. They just do what you said, which is like, do you work as this? We're hiring, apply. So bring in like the methodology of like,
the audience call out, the sick and tired, all like the bullet points, and then take action now, only a certain number of spots left, like that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Aren't you going to get like a percentage deal or something like that? Or am I mixing that up?
A percentage of what?
Yeah, like, weren't you like talking about how like for every like person that you send, you would get a percentage, or you're still like at a flat rate? Is that correct or no?
Oh, yeah, that's an option. I'm just at the flat rate now because it's just easier to sell.
Yeah.
But like in recruitment, a staffing agency would charge 20% of an annual salary.
Yeah.
So if you hire someone at 70K, it would be like 14K. So maybe in the future we could find like a mixed model.
Wait, hold on. So like if I'm running a recruiting agency and I get an applicant and you end up paying them $100,000, that company has to pay me 20. Is that correct?
Yeah, but it's not simple. It's really hard to actually get your candidate hired.
Gotcha.
You don't get paid until they get hired.
Gotcha. And so the flat rate is probably cheaper and or more consistent for you, right?
Yeah, every recruiter wants to be paid on retainer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
So you get your first client. Oh my God. They start getting applications like, holy shit, this could work, right? You get your second client and your third client. At what point did you start running like your prospecting engine for real? Like cold emailing, LinkedIn, paid ads, social media profile, like when did that really kick in, right?
That was only really toward like the middle of May, because I wasn't really happy with the progress in the first niche. So I just tried like jumping about. I went to realtors for a week. I went to summer camps. I made 3 summer camp sales in like a week of doing the prospecting.
Wow.
And then the coronavirus lockdown happened. So that was like I was ready to be the summer camp linchpin, but that that stopped it. So I did something else for a month, and then I kind of just like switched niche, and then finally everything came together where I really just got used to spending money.
Yeah.
Really just realized you need to spend money.
Is this when you went back, when you left Mexico around this time, like May?
Yeah,
right?
I went back home.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that like threw everything for a loop again. Like, okay, this could work. Just kidding. Go back home. Right.
Yeah.
So, but you started paying money in ads. So like, once you figured out your offer, you could fulfill the offer. You got your first batch of clients, right? Your first 5, right? Something like that. Then you said, screw it. Let's start putting money into ads. What happened when you took your offer to the marketplace using paid ads? Like, what did your calendar look like?
I'd say paid ads maybe fill like 20% of the calendar.
Yeah.
Which was surprised me given like the results other people were getting. What fills 80% is cold email.
Interesting.
A little bit of LinkedIn too.
Yeah.
So I paid the money on ads. I spent like 1,000, and I looked at what I get if I spend 1,000 on cold email, and it just seemed to work better for the niche which I'm in.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But because it's like, if I want to target someone in my niche, they don't own the business page. You can't find their Gmail or Hotmail address on the website. They're like a little cog in a big machine. So building that audience is much more difficult than just buying their business name email address and sending them emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that means you probably have to keep going hard at the podcast and Lunch and Learns, right? Like they have to be aware of you. You can't advertise directly to them. You have to do podcasts and cold emailing. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we do LinkedIn ads as well.
Gotcha.
That's the best place for this type of person, but it's more expensive than email. So our version of like Facebook ads is basically doing it on LinkedIn. So we use the same copy and maybe get a lead for like $50, which is a little bit more than I would like it to be compared to email.
Yeah. But if they're picking up the phone, it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I really think what's interesting about your journey, started at the bottom, everything sucked. Everybody knows that feeling, right? You got kicked out of the country, you had to move back home, right? You switched niches 4 times, right? Like you did healthcare and then you did real estate, and then you did summer camp, and then back in healthcare, right? But you ended up in a really cool position where you kept trying to break your brain saying, I could get a client, I could get him results. I could get a client, I could get him results. How long until you finally felt comfortable saying you were doing healthcare recruiting? Or are you still not there yet?
I don't think I'm 100% sold on it because it's a very long sales process, and it's tricky to make sales at the moment.
Yeah.
Because of the whole COVID thing. But I went all in on it like after I got a good case study. So after it really worked for one of my clients, that's when I decided if it works for him, it's going to work for these other people. So I'm going to put more money into it. Like what broke my brain was like the concept of spending money on the business.
Yeah.
Like back in the old days, I would just take everything out and either put it in the stock market or in my savings account.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like spending a lot of what comes in because I know it's either going to get me time or it's going to make me more money.
Yep.
So that's just something crazy that I'd never in my mindset I'd thought about. Because like, for example, before I would do LinkedIn or cold email, because like when I was growing up, it would be, you can't have both, you have to choose one. And then I realized I can get results from both. So I'll just do both, but I'll do another cold email supplier as well, just to find out what works. That's the best way to do it, I think. Just like spread your your channels.
Yeah.
And
have like multiple ones up and running so you know which one works, right?
Yeah. So just don't conserve a lot of money at the start. I think if you have money that's going spare, you should spend it on the business, because only really freelancers will not spend money on, like freelancers using Upwork, for example. They'll moan about having to pay Upwork 20%.
Yeah.
That's like the freelancer mindset, but the business owner mindset, like the massive businesses, they spend more than they make for years.
Yep.
So I kind of want to be at that level.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Adam, right now for our new agency, we're spending between $500 and $1,000 a day on ads. It's nuts, right? Okay. But here's the crazy part. Like, my heart used to palpitate at the idea, like, because I was like, oh my God, I only have so much money. It's only gonna last a certain amount of time. And if I just spend it so much, I'll run out of time, right? And then very, very quickly realize if you run ads in a certain way, you're buying money or you're buying time. Like, I've got, this is on my calendar today. I've got 1, 2, 3 demos today and then 4 demos tomorrow. Like, one of those people is going to pay me $3,500. Guess what? That's how it's supposed to be. And then I can hire an appointment setter, and then I can hire a sales guy, and then 2 salespeople, and then 3 salespeople. Now they're all making money for me because I'm running ads, right? And it takes a long time for people's brains to break that way, because they're exactly what you're talking about. They're like, hey, you know what? I just made $1,000. I'm going to hold on to that, right? But what you should be doing is saying, I'm going to go get more. And the only way to get more is with more clients, right? There's no other way around it. You're not there yet. You're still like cautiously optimistic, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'm, like, I have cash reserves in the bank account, which I should spend.
Yeah.
But I think what my mental block is now, that I've spent like 6 weeks of advertising, but those sales are in like the process of being closed.
Correct.
So my brain's saying, like, you need to have the money closed to spend it.
Yeah.
Which I can see why my brain says that, but I don't think it's the right mentality.
It's a function of the sales time, right? The sales process. Like, if it takes 9 months to land a deal, you're going to freak out for 9 months, right? But you said something really interesting, which is like the podcasts and the lunch and learns, they don't cost money, right? You can do a podcast a week every week and you're good. You can do a lunch and learn every week and you're good. You did a lunch and learn, right? Did you do your first one yet or no?
Yeah, I've done 3. 3, yeah.
All right, so tell me about those 3. Like, what was it like? How was that conversation? How did you find them? All that stuff.
Okay, who was the first one? So the first one, I went on his podcast. So he was well connected, and I found him just through Google by Googling like niche specific podcasts. So I thought I'd bring him on and get exposed to his audience. So he said yes, because he wants to reach more people too. After we kind of talked a little bit more about like a partnership that we could do. So he's brought me on, I think it's three demos with people he's worked with who are like the ideal clients of mine. So like that worked perfectly. That couldn't have went better at the first one.
Perfect.
Like, they are hit and miss. So, and not all of them have to be someone you can make money off. For example, I brought a nurse on a podcast to kind of use this as like, I'm interviewing someone that you're trying to reach. So if they're like a consumer, it would be someone who owns a dirty house, or if someone has a pest problem and you're asking them what they would want to see from advertisers of their particular product. So I usually just find people on LinkedIn and see who has a big audience and try and get access to their audience.
So are you sending like a specific script? Like let's say I run a hospital and you're like, hey, Jeff, I want to have you on my podcast. Like, what is that conversation like?
So yeah, there's a script where it'll be like, hi, mentioned something you saw, which they do. So just giving them a bit of attention. And then you would make that relevant to the podcast. So for the first guy, it would be, hi, Michael. we were on a podcast today. I saw you are very interested in helping out people in this space, particularly like how you did this episode with such and such.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it got me thinking that maybe your knowledge would be useful for my audience too.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talk a little bit more about how the podcast works, or the Lunch and Learn works, because people want to, like, people's self-interest is to be exposed to more people and grow their own career.
Correct.
So you don't want to like talk about the podcast and this is a great podcast.
Yeah.
You want to talk about what the podcast will do for them.
So does anybody ever like, oh my God, but how many visitors do you have or views or how long you've been doing this? Does anybody like give you flack for not being big enough or anything like that?
Nobody has said that. It's generally just the rejection is like ignore or say like they're too busy.
Gotcha. Very cool. Do you use that same strategy for like your Lunch and Learns?
Yeah. Well, basically I do the Lunch and Learn, then I turn that into like a recording.
Oh, so it's like the same process, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. And you do your Lunch and Learns on your personal profile?
So I do them on the company page.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So now you've got like an infinitely scalable way to build credibility, connect with your dream audience, learn about your stuff. You can chop that up into ads, right? If they say something nice about you, you can highlight that part. And you can always like raise yourself up to somebody's level very, very, very quickly. And then after you can talk shop about business where they're like, oh, that was really cool. I had no idea to do that. Yeah, we do it for like 5 other people all across the United States. You know, why? Do you have any problems with X? We do this all the time. Can I show you how it works? That's it. That's the whole transition, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the learning so cool. One's a big one too. Like just in a non-pressurized environment, just listen to someone talk about their problems and what they do. It's good.
That's been my secret since day one, man. Like I've got people that are doing $1 million a month on my show or on my podcast, and they're just teaching me stuff. Like we've got somebody coming on, like we might have Alex Hormozi in 2 weeks. The guy's doing like $90 million a month. He and I are going to be talking shop for an hour. And you know what? It's going to be a good time.
What's he called? Alex
Hormozi, Mustache and Muscles. Like the guy's doing $90 million a month with gym launch. $90 million a year with gym launch. Imagine how much I'd have to pay to get a one-on-one for an hour with him. Like $30K. Huge number. Or, hey, you want to do a podcast?
That is mental. That's broke my brain.
I mean, he's doing like $30K a day in profit. Like, what the fuck, right? Go to sleep, wake up, $1,000. Yeah. So if I understand correctly, your journey was like everything's gone to shit. I need help. You start doing prospecting, not focusing on fulfillment with like API and bots. You just focus on prospecting, break your brain, and then you use the sales demo. And somebody's like, "Hey, I'm interested in buying. You have to sell." Cool. All right. And then you end up getting 3, 4, or 5 clients just doing the same prospecting part. You're not like spending money on ads yet. You're just trying to like do cold emailing. And as a side note, by the way, did you ever ask your current client, like, hey, do you know of anybody else that wants similar results or anything like that?
Yeah. So I've had a decent stream of intros off that.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, they haven't turned into anything yet.
But it's just the start. I mean, you just got a really long sales process, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't know about this niche. Like,
cautiously optimistic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally okay to change your major. I've done it like 4 times, right? It's no big deal. But you got your first batch of clients. You prove that you could prospect, sell, and fulfill. And then you're like, all right, now it's time to build the awareness part. Now it's time to go prospecting. You tried Facebook ads, didn't get great results for your prospecting, your client getting ads. Cold email and LinkedIn worked really, really well. But the secret key is probably just doing more lunch and learns and proactively reaching out to your dream clients saying, hey, did you want to do like an hour-long talk where we're just talking shop? Because you're doing that. I'm doing that. Yoni Alpert is doing that. Steph is doing that. Like everyone who's having like strong results, they're learning for free and they're networking for free. All they have to do is do an interview and then they're good. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's really good on so many levels. Like to add to all the ones you mentioned so far, like if you're doing LinkedIn outreach or even cold email, people will go onto your LinkedIn profile to see what you're about. So if you just have an empty profile, it doesn't look as good as if you have people from the industry who they recognize actually just like speaking on your profile.
Yeah.
So whenever it comes to social proof, it's really good. You do have to kind of like know what your niche is, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's no problem just deleting all the old ones and changing it if you want.
No more real estate agents. So we're gone now. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just delete them all. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Is there like one thing, like somebody who's like stuck or unsure, fearful, like I can't figure it out, I don't know what's going wrong? Is there one thing that you tell them, like looking back at your past self back in January? Like what's the one thing that changed your life for the better? What's the one thing you would tell somebody watching this interview who feels stuck? Like what should they be doing, right?
That's a good question. I think like don't be as scared to change who you're prospecting. For so long I was like bogged down on one type of client. And then I just switched it up and I got results. That stopped working, I switched it up again.
Yeah.
So really like don't like beat a dead horse. If it's not working, like feel free to switch it up.
Yeah.
And invest money in it. Like if you have extra money going, it's wise to invest it in your business. That's probably the biggest difference for me. Because like you can say, I'll do cold email or do paid ads, but like the first block to that is spending the money. And you have to get over that first.
Yep.
So I guess just think about like what that money is going to do if you save it and what the potential could be.
Yeah.
If you spend it.
You could get a $3,500 a month client, or you could get 5% interest over the next year. Which one do you want? Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What's like the next step for you? Like, do you think this go to like 30, 40K a month? Are you going to like keep trying to get clients in this industry, in this niche? Do you think you start consistently landing like 10K or 22K deals? Like what's that next step for you?
I have like 30K in the pipeline of people who are like yes-ish.
Yeah.
They're on the good side of yes.
Yeah. They just haven't paid you yet, but it's 30K coming, right?
Well, they said they want it, put it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue prospecting and then see how that like clears out in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
If they end up like paying me money and we start getting results, then it could definitely be like 100 a month, because there are competitors in the space who have 40, 50 clients.
Beautiful.
And don't really do like the same stuff as we do.
Beautiful.
And don't really do it as well. So they're like, one of them hit me up for like a partnership yesterday.
You're like, yeah, so if you pay a fuck ton of money for it, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, it has the potential. If everything falls into place, to go to 100K a month. Yeah.
So that's the next step, 100K a month.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking like 30 would be the next milestone. And then 100.
What are you at? You're at 10K a month now, you said?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the 22K deals are just like 6 months paid in front or something like that, or just a signature, right?
Yeah, it's like a 6-month commitment.
Gotcha.
But the way I see it, it should be like, the growth should be like this.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't be like slowly. Once you start getting like clients and case studies and money, you should start like growing like exponentially.
Beautiful. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I genuinely, honestly hope that you end up hitting your 30K a month in the next 2-3 months.
Okay.
I think having like huge business to business clients is the easiest way to do it, especially when they got $1 million budgets. Like them throwing 10K your way is no big deal, especially if the alternative is spending like $20,000 with a recruitment agency. You're like, look, I can just get you people applying. How about that? Right? Is that a fair next step? If you keep doing your lunch and learns, you can actually clip those interviews and just do a broadcast style ad. I shouldn't say that, a video view style ad to like everybody in that hospital area or everybody on that hospital custom audience. And they're going to see your stuff. So when they get that cold emailing from you, that's what happens with me. You're like, I know who that guy is. I've seen your stuff before. Like that's like the easiest thing to do. And that's a super fast sales process.
Okay.
I'm super happy for you. I got to drop because I've got a demo at noon, and then I've got another demo at 2, and then another demo at 3, and another demo at 4, because I'm doing paid ads and I'm getting the same results that you're experiencing, which is like people are hitting your calendar, but you get it through like LinkedIn ads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, is there any last minute comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, or ideas?
Just like don't give up. I was ready to give up and take a job where I get like $10 an hour because I thought it was a cool job. Like my eyes have just been opened. I think like it's really important to listen to you, like listen to Jeff, because whenever I wasn't doing well, I was like doing my own thing, but just like following the stuff which you say was like really essential.
Dude, I'm so happy for you.
I'm thankful for that. I'm so grateful.
No, dude, like you're on the right path. You know how to do it. You just needed a little bit of guidance here and there. And there's no reason why you can't run $1 million business before the end of the year. Like, and then you get to go back to your dad and be like, hey, I fucking told you I was right. How about that shit? Right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that now you pick up. You're like, yeah, that is right. Yeah, fuck you, dad. I know what I'm doing. Right. Yeah, dude, like you're on the right path. You're doing everything correctly. And the biggest mistake people see make is like they want it too fast. And like you've been like stepping in the right direction, consistently having a thought process. You're going to coaching calls. You're active in the Facebook group. You're doing your lives. Like you're doing everything correct. And the next big step for you is building that awareness, which comes from those lunch and learns. And you're going to have a good fucking time. But yeah, Adam Chambers, well fucking done, dude. I think that's it.
Thank you. Bye.
You got it. Talk to you later, buddy. Peace out.
Bye.